Hello there everybody and welcome to this thing that I'm doing, which is apparently called a video. Today we're going to be checking out Dave Filoni and his brand new promotion at LucasFilm as reported by Vanity Fair in this article, which is called Star Wars Undertakes Universe-Shaking Changes After Ahsoka, and this is what they say. Dave Filoni has a new mission in the Star Wars universe after guiding Rosario Dawson's force-wielding hero to distant celestial realms in the first season of Ahsoka. The writer, producer, director who started out working alongside George Lucas on the animated Clone Wars show nearly 2 decades ago has ascended to a new position at Lucasfilm, one that will give him input into all of the galactic storytelling going forward. Now I'm what's called Chief Creative Officer of Lucasfilm, Filoni tells Vanity Fair, which places him into the development process much earlier and in a much more expansive capacity than his previous advisory duties. In the past, and a lot of projects I'd be brought into, I would see it after it had already been developed a good ways. Filoni will now work more directly with Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy and alongside Carrie Beck, a veteran producer turned head of development, to originate and shepherd the next generation of Star Wars shows and movies. After spending many years involved in the creation of Star Wars animation, including the Rebels series, he became increasingly involved in live action as a producer with Jon Favreau on The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba Fett. In this new role, it's opened up to basically everything that's going on, Filoni says. When we're planning the future of what we're doing now, I'm involved at the inception phase. The news comes a little over a month after the conclusion of Ahsoka, an 8-episode Disney Plus series that explored how Dawson's Jedi grappled with her legacy of being trained by Anakin Skywalker, the mentor who became the galactic tyrant Darth Vader. Due to the long-running Hollywood strikes, neither Filoni nor Dawson were able to speak about the show when it debuted. In a Vanity Fair exclusive, both of them are now free to discuss the changes the show brought to the broader Star Wars narrative, both on-screen and behind the scenes. Now that Filoni will take on the role of Chief Creative Officer, what does it mean for other writers, directors and producers? I'm not telling people what to do, Filoni says, but I do feel I'm trying to help them tell the best story that they want to tell. I need to be a help from across the galaxy here, like a part of the Jedi Council almost. He described his responsibilities as understanding the intent of the filmmakers and being a resource to them, based on his mentorship under Lucas himself and his years spent steering the Clone Wars, Rebels and Ahsoka. Literally, hours now of Star Wars storytelling I've done, he said, before pausing to rethink his syntax. See, I even phrased that like Yoda. At the Star Wars Celebration fan convention this past spring, a number of new projects were announced by Kennedy, including a feature film from Filoni that would help bridge the decades-long gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, a space that The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka are already busy filling. Filoni will now continue developing his film as well as exploring a possible second season of Ahsoka while serving in his new position. To truly help filmmakers, it was really important for me to experience it firsthand, he says. I can also lend a perspective on the challenges that telling these stories will present. I feel more capable of actually being helpful outside of just saying, well, Jedi are like this and Sith are like this. All the titles from Star Wars Celebration are still on the books, Lucasfilm officials say, including a historical epic about the early origins of the Force from Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny filmmaker James Mangold, and a story revisiting Daisy Ridley's Rey from director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. Upcoming television projects include The Acolyte, set in the High Republic era about a century before the Star Wars story fans first encountered in the 1977 original, and Skeleton Crew, a show about a group of lost young space travelers set sometime after the Empire's defeat in Return of the Jedi. As president of Lucasfilm, Kennedy will continue leading the overall company, and Beck's role will involve recruiting other storytellers into the Star Wars fold, while Filoni weighs in on a narrative level. So that's pretty much that, and I think overall that is actually very good news. I think that Filoni should have been in charge of Lucasfilm this entire time. Obviously, he isn't completely in charge, but he's pretty much in charge of the storytelling narrative going forward. I think that this is the perfect role for Filoni. I don't think that he is an incredible writer. I think that he is very hit and miss. Like with the Clone Wars and Rebels, I think that when it's good, it's really good. But when it's bad, it's really bad. I think that the perfect role for Filoni is this, which is where he isn't writing everything, but he's overseeing everything, and he is going to be helping the future writers and producers and so on these projects so that he can just give it that sort of George Lucas seal of approval, essentially, and he can make sure that all of the beats are right and that, the characters introduced and legacy characters that are brought back are being portrayed correctly and all those kind of things. I think that this is exactly where Filoni should be, and I hope that, we can get more writers and producers like, Tony Gilroy going forward with the assistance with Dave, like he says that he wants to give these people. And I think that going forward, Star Wars is going to be in a very healthy place because of this. And I think that the future is very exciting. But that's just me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments and I will read every single one. And I hope to see you at the next video. Have a good one.